I'm excited to show you how Ontora actually works, and we'll start right off at the heart of our product, which are AI agent-led interviews. Picture this like a consultant which asks all of your employees a bunch of smart questions. We'll go right ahead and create a new interview campaign. And here we have to define first the purpose of this campaign. And in this case, I want to find out about automation opportunities within the finance department. So we'll get thrown in this campaign creation mode where we have a setup assistant on the left, which helps us to set up the campaign brief on the right. The campaign brief is basically just all of the context the agent needs to have a meaningful conversation with your employees. Now I went ahead and already filled out the campaign brief, or actually our agent did it for us. It included the campaign goals, background information, context for the employees, and it also defined success criteria, which helps the agent to validate when it has enough information. And then, also very important, it defined the interview topics. So these help the agent to have a structured conversation with your employees. Lastly, we also added our audience. So these are the people the agent should actually talk to within your organization. Everything seems to look good. Review everything one more time and then launch our campaign. I'm also one of the participants of this interview campaign, so I also received an email in which I got invited to join this conversation. So simply click on join now and I can join the conversation with our agent.
Hello, David. This chat is about finding high ROI automation chances in Pilot Group's finance department. We'll talk for about 20 minutes, and it's all confidential. Ready when you are?
Yes, I'm ready.
Great. Let's dive in. Walk me through a recent invoice exception from the first notification to the final payment decision. Which records, documents, and conversations did you need to check?
I think I checked Outlook, NetSuite, SharePoint, and I'm pretty sure I had to write someone on Teams before deciding whether to pay it.
Thanks, David. Can you tell me more about what you're looking for in each of those systems? What specific information do you need from Outlook, NetSuite, SharePoint, or Teams?
Well, in Teams, I'm usually going for the approval of one of my higher-ups. And then in Outlook, NetSuite, and SharePoint, I need to look up the necessary documents in order to evaluate this.
You mentioned looking up necessary documents. Could you give me an example of a specific document you might search for in Outlook,
This now would continue for 20 more minutes, and the agent has a structured conversation with all of your employees. But let's now actually see what it looks like when most of the employees finish their conversation. Now we are back in this interview campaign within our dashboard, and we can see that the majority of participants, 526 people, already completed the conversation with our agent. Let's jump into one of those conversations. We can play back the original recording. We can also read through the original transcript and see the insights which the agent extracted from that single conversation. And now it gets really interesting if we look at the report. Here the agent created a McKinsey level report and details everything what's currently going on in your organization. It also created, for example, this swim lane chart detailing the process the finance department has to go through. And if I have any additional questions, I can simply type them in the chat. For example, I want to know what are the highest ROI use cases that we should focus on. Now every bit of information from every conversation gets saved into our context layer. This is something you or your agents can access at all times. And here we find also more about our process inefficiency that we just discovered in our recent interview. And we can read up about the manual invoice mismatch before payments. This looks like something we could fix. These features so far are already live with our customers. But now I'm going to show you the most exciting upcoming feature, which allow you to fix the inefficiencies that our agents discover. Here you can also see the agent flag the automated invoice mismatch and that it's taking our finance department a lot of time, costing us a lot of money. So let's go ahead and fix it. So what happens now is that we hand over all of the necessary context to Codex, and Codex goes ahead and builds the necessary solution. That's amazing. And then we can go ahead and manage all of our solutions within the Ontora platform directly.